Not as crazy as you think that these job offers are coming in so low right now. And I really want to take an opportunity to unpack this because this isn't the first comment I've seen like this. Folks, everything is a market. This is an employment market. And very similar to, say, like watching the craziness that's unfolded in the housing market, for example. There are swings, there are shifts, there are things that happen to the market that it feels like suddenly it's changed, but it hasn't. There have been all these little things happening, and then all of a sudden we're in this new reality. Right now, the employment market has shifted. At the time that I'm recording this, there have been thousands of layoffs in January. We had a 98% increase in layoffs in 2023 over 2022. 98%, okay? There were over 700,000 people laid off in 2023, up from a little over 300,000 in 2022. And you can go Google search those numbers, okay? We are gonna see more disruption in 2024. And it has a lot to do with how everything's shifting. There are so many factors involved right now. And if you want to get paid a top wage, you have to pay attention to what's happening in your market. Because what concerns me about this is that you are making double that with 7 years of experience. Those people that have 5 years of experience, in 2 years are going to have 7 years of experience and would gladly take less than you're making now. So what happens in 20 years as a career coach, I've seen this time and again, is that people unknowingly price themselves out of the market. You keep taking pay increases, and we all make the false assumption that the more years of experience we have, the more we're worth. It doesn't work that way. In fact, it almost works like a cliff effect. In the beginning, when you have no experience, sure, you make nothing. Then you start to gain experience and you're worth more. But at some point in time, you have too much experience because there are a lot of people underneath you, right? This is moving. All those people starting out behind you are now mid-market and are making more money and will take less than you. And so I see people all the time in their 40s and their 50s are suddenly like, it's age discrimination. And I have to tell them it's experience discrimination. There are people younger than you who will take it for less money, and you go off the cliff because you don't pay attention to how the market is shifting within your industry, within your skill set. Folks, every job is temporary. And we are all businesses of one, which means you never take your eye off the market of your business of one. You constantly watch the shifts, and you make sure that if you want to maintain what you're making, not just grow, but maintain. When you get to a point and you're like, gee, this is the income I want to make, how are you staying relevant and making sure that you will make that money? And, you know, we can get into, I'm going to get all these comments right now about it's corporate America's fault, but I can't control corporate America. You know what I can do? I can control teaching you how to stay relevant in your market, how to brand your value. If you follow me here, you know I talk about your UVA, your unique value add, because they don't pay you for your skills. They don't pay you for your experience. They pay you for your value. And the person with the most value, meaning they're going to get the best return on the investment, is the person that gets the job and makes the most money. And that value is different for every employer. It's not just your experience. There are all of the factors that go into it, like your personality and your aptitude, and your just so many different components that people don't think about. You're a brand. So I know it's frustrating and I just want a job and I want to make money. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. This is life. It's a game. As long as you want to work, you're playing the game. And the sooner you realize that the game shifts, that the rules and the circumstances change, and that you've got to stay on top of it, the better you can insulate yourself against situations like this. Because it's going to continue. And I'll just give you a quick example when I'm talking about this. All of these companies that said they're going to stay fully remote, they know that everybody wants a remote job. Well, guess what? If jobs are fully remote, they don't have to hire people in the US. I've talked to companies that said, I can hire 3 people who have multiple degrees in another country to do a job. 3 people for the price of 1 person in the US. We need to be thinking about this. Now there's a global shift in your industry, in your skill set, in your market. These things are constantly changing. And to stick your head in the sand, I did a TikTok yesterday about the ostrich effect, and try to ignore this and think it's going to get better is not an answer. Do not be afraid of the truth. Embrace it, learn it, understand it. Let us show you what you need to know about your industry and your skill set and how to stay relevant and how to stay in demand in your marketplace. Because It's actually not rocket science or brain surgery, but it just takes some knowledge. And you're going to have to put yourself in what I call all the time temporary, because it won't be forever, productive discomfort. That's learning mode. That's where we're going to close your gaps in knowledge, help you figure out your game plan so you can move forward. And that takes a little effort. And there are going to be so many people that hear this today or skip right over it and are going to continue on the path. But I really hope I explain to you why this is going to keep happening. It's not crazy. It's normal. And it's going to keep happening. But it doesn't mean that you're stuck with it. Not if you put yourself in a little productive, temporary discomfort and get the knowledge to take your game up a level so you can compete, so you can get what you want, okay? Thank you for asking this question, folks. Keep the questions coming. If you don't know me, I'm JT. I'm trying to help 10 million people on this app get new, better paying jobs. And I'm doing that by live streaming and giving away a ton of free content here and linked in my bio. So if this helped, like and follow me, and more importantly, post a question, and I might be able to answer yours next.